This is the second battle between Diplomatt or Mad Slinky between BarryLondon. In the first battle, Diplomatt won with Rome against Carthage. Now they're going to switch factions. In the first battle, he used African elephants to devastating effect, and it looks like he's going to do the same thing here. The armies are pretty similar to what we saw in the previous battle. So he has two mercenary Iberian swords on the flanks. He has two mercenary Scutari, it looks like. He has a center of 4 mercenary Gallic warriors. In front of those, he has another center of 4 Libyan infantry. He has 2 mercenary Balearic slingers. So he should be able to deal with any elephants from Rome here with mercenary Iberian swords and mercenary Balearic slingers. For cavalry, he has 3 units of Carthaginian cavalry. BarryLondon has brought another very heavy sword build, but this time he brought units to deal with elephants, 2 Balearic slingers. In the front he has 4 Hastati, then he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess 6 Principi. Then he has 2 Triarii on the flanks, Socii Equites in front of those, and then he has a unit of Socii Extraordinari, and a total of 3 missile units. So Velites, I guess he learned from having his very elite sword line being wrecked by elephants in the previous battle. So now the elephants need to be careful, because there are both long and short range skirmishers that are able to deal with the elephants. Marching slowly towards each other are these 2 armies. And this is Polybian Rome, so you won't see any legionary units on the field. Very nice the way they're just walking towards each other here. Conserving their stamina, being very disciplined in the use of their troops. This battle, I think, is going to be a straight up brawl. Rome has the advantage in infantry in this matchup, pretty decisively, but they also have the advantage in skirmishing by a small margin, or actually Carthage has, because it has these mercenary Iberian swords. In cavalry, it's about equal between these 3 units. It's not a very decisive advantage in favor of Rome, small advantage. But the big trump card of Carthage will of course be these African elephants. If they can do not enough damage to the Principi, it's going to be a GG. But they could also be countered very, very quickly by the skirmishers of Rome, or by well-placed javelin volleys from the infantry. And if that happens, then Carthage is just at a severe disadvantage. So here we have the mercenary Gallics incoming. Doesn't look like we'll see any cavalry charges to try and stop them. It looks like he's just going to use his infantry to attack them. The cavalry of Diplomatt is going up here, presumably just to stop the cavalry from charging in against the mercenary Scutari, which was a pretty nice move, I have to say. Now Rome is just content to stay behind and fire. We have attack orders incoming. Mercenary Gallics should do well against Hastati on the charge, but they have taken some damage. If these lines were a bit closer, the Principi could throw javelins at the incoming Carthaginians. A nice cavalry charge here on the Triarii, knocking some of them down, following up with mercenary Scutari. The mercenary Scutari should do very well against Triarii in combat. The Socii Equites are going down to javelins and to melee units. The Socii Extraordinari are going to wreck these mercenary Scutari, do a lot of damage to them on the charge. Here we have Carthaginian cavalry in the backlines of Rome, and if this Carthaginian cavalry is able to take care of the skirmishers of Rome, then Rome is in big trouble. But Carthage is now in a bit of a hot spot, because they are losing in the center with their mercenary Gallics. The Hastati were not defeated, so Carthage has to move in with its Libyan infantry. Very nice layered approach being used here. And the Socii Equites Extraordinari are going to wreck the Carthaginian cavalry on the charge. 1 unit going down to missile fire in the center. The elephants still haven't been able to get into combat. They need to be careful, because there are Balearic slingers here, there are Velites screening them. Diplomatt is using his noble cavalry general just to keep away these Sociaequites. The Sociaequites are going to wreck the mercenary Iberian swords. In the center now, the Hastati are finally going down, but it just took so long to destroy the Hastati, and the elephants haven't been able to participate in the battle yet, so this is how important it can be. Just bringing a few tools that can deal with enemy elephants, because these elephants are not participating in the battle, and in the meantime the Carthaginian infantry is being defeated by the Roman infantry. There is still Hastati left on the field, while the Principe are going to do well against the Libyan infantry because they are fresh, they haven't taken much damage. Elephants still just running around on the outskirts of the battlefield, not really having a safe place to participate in the battle from. This unit of Carthaginian cavalry was destroyed, and now the elephants are going to move in. I think it's going to be a bit too late, and I also think that these skirmishers are going to be able to fire at the elephants. So it looks like this is going decisively in the favor of Rome here. But if the elephants are able to wreck both of these, or all of these three units actually, then it's starting to be much more advantageous for Carthage. But it's very smartly going to kite away. The elephants are not running amok yet. Balearic slinger fire incoming, but it's going to take a lot of Balearic fire to make the elephants run amok. The elephants are getting charged by shock cavalry. That's going to do quite a lot of damage to them. They are getting bogged down. They are running amok. They're bogged down by cavalry. They're getting charged by infantry. They don't really need to be run amok several times in a row. So maybe it would be a better idea to just change into standard ammunition and kill the elephants now. But it looks like the elephants are going to, although they got a lot of kills in a short amount of time here, they are now under javelin fire, and they're going to go down very quickly indeed. When the elephants go down, I think Carthage's chances of pulling this one off is going to go down with the elephants. But very nicely done here, using mercenary Iberian swords to chase away the skirmishers. The elephants are dying, but they're still alive, still getting some kills. So in the center, the Carthaginian infantry is being defeated by Rome. The Carthaginian skirmishers are taking down the auxiliary Balearic slingers. And there are still some nice slinger units left here for Carthage. Not a lot of cavalry left for Rome to be able to deal with them. So these guys could be very important if they're able to stay alive to the late game. But the elephants are still alive. They managed to destroy the Sociaequites. The elephants are still taking fire from the Velites. Maybe the Velites ran out of ammunition. It's going to be difficult to hit the elephants when they are in such a dispersed formation because of hitbox issues. Rome doing some nice surrounding here on the Carthaginian infantry. And just have a look at this. Imagine that we're giving attack orders on these elephants now. And we have one elephant over here, we have one elephant over here, and we have one elephant way over here. How many missiles do you think are going to hit the center of the unit, or hit any elephants if you're firing? Not a whole lot. So this is a massive problem with the way units are aiming in this game. They're not aiming for the individual elephants, they are aiming for, I believe it is the center of the unit. And the center of the unit here would mean that any number of missiles are going to miss the mark completely. So let's see if we see any. There we go. But are they firing at... They just have fire at will on, so they're firing at the mercenary Iberian swords, not actually firing at the elephants. So I don't think any units have attack orders on the elephants just now. Elephants went down over there. They started running amok again. I think that was from friendly fire actually. And now the elephants can get hit because that elephant over there died. A lot of good swords left on the field for Rome. Not a lot left on the field for Carthage, but if these Balearic slingers have enough ammo left, they could be very problematic for Rome. Rome can use this legatus to stop them, but there's still shock cavalry left on the field for Carthage. And shock cavalry charging into these very depleted units, that's going to do a lot of damage to the Roman infantry. So smart move using the shock cavalry and saving them for the late game by Diplomatt. Doing a lot of damage to the Principe here. This could rout units quickly, getting in like this. But the noble cavalry is losing some men here. They're probably going to lose a few men when pulling out as well. Yeah. So if this was a better shock cavalry unit, could probably have been used to much more devastating effect. It is decent on the charge, but it just dies so quickly with its low melee defense and only 60 armor. It got a nice increase in charge bonus though, but still it is not a great unit. It's a decent unit. Charging down the Principe, but eating fire in return, so they can't afford to have many of these engagements where they rush in and lose a few men and then destroy a few infantry units, because there's just so much infantry left on the field for Rome. Very nice kills on the Principe. So screening the elephants for most of the battle was very, very important by BarryLondon here. Very nicely done. I think he learned from the previous battle. If he had just done what he did in the previous battle and just brought the sword spam, he would have lost this battle as well. But since he learned from that and he brought some skirmishers, he was able to counter the elephants. So we're kind of seeing the players learn and evolve from game to game here, which I think is very, very nice. He got beat by... He brought sword spam and was defeated by essentially a single elephant. And then he thought, okay, I can still spam swords, but I need something to deal with the elephants. Very, very nice to see that. The noble cavalry are racking up the kills. We have Balearics in desperate melee against Principe. They're going to lose that engagement. Triarii incoming. The Balearics are probably going to be able to destroy this unit, but just how much ammunition do these guys have left? Rear charge incoming from the noble cavalry just in time before the mercenary Balearic slingers are starting to waver, but the noble cavalry is just taking casualties pulling out, and it's going to be very difficult to keep the cycle charging up for a long time with such a fragile unit. So I'll just fast forward here because I think we can safely say that this is going to go in favor of Rome. The Carthaginian cavalry is making a valiant last effort actually getting some nice kills, but it's just too much Rome left on the battlefield. So the second battle went in favor of BarryLondon. Very well done by both players. The main problem I think here for Diplomatt was his elephants weren't completely neutralized, because they did get a decent amount of kills, and you can see that his Libyan infantry also got a decent amount of kills. His mercenary Iberian swords did well, so did his mercenary Scutari, but his mercenary Gallic warriors were effectively neutralized, and all of the Roman units did their job, basically. The skirmishers took care of elephants, kept the elephants away. A lot of kills here on the mid-tier Roman units, nice kills on the low-tier Roman units. Some of the slingers didn't do too well, but they didn't really need to. They just needed to screen the African elephants. So it was a close battle. Two very nice armies, I think, and I look forward to seeing their tiebreaker, which is Epirus versus Epirus. I'll upload that in a separate video, because the videos just are so huge now that I have to split them up more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again on the battlefield.